99.3 Nigeria Info Lagos. Good morning to you. Welcome to Dailies today, the second part. I'm Sheriff Quadry.
I'm Jimi Disu. Good morning.
All right, you can watch this show on Facebook and on YouTube. Nigeria Info 99.3 is how you can watch. You can also, listen to us from anywhere in the world by downloading our mobile app. Yes, our mobile app is on Google Play Store. Type Nigeria Info FM. You can also copy it from the App Store if you're on iPhone platform. Okay, so let's get started. We have we're going to start from this one here. It's really an interesting story. Osinachi, why court sentenced husband to death, is in the Vanguard newspaper.
Yeah, I'm sure quite loads and loads of you listeners have been following the Osinachi case, who died 3 years ago. Osinachi was a gospel singer. You all know the story. And yesterday, the husband was sentenced to death by hanging by the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, sitting at Wuse, Zone 2, Abuja. The gentleman, his name is Nwachukwu, who was prosecuted on a 23-count charge by the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, was found guilty of culpable homicide, as the court established that he was responsible for the death of his wife on April 2, 2028. The court placed reliance on oral testimonies of 17 witnesses that testified in the course of the trial, among who were the two children of the late singer, as well as documentary evidence that was adduced against the convict. Though the convict testified in his own defense and also produced 4 witnesses to deny allegation that he killed his wife, the court held that the weight of evidence adduced in the matter was sufficient to pass a guilty charge against him. So he was handed one of the sentences is death by hanging, another is 2-year imprisonment on each counts 2, 3, 8, 9, 12, 13, and 18. More so, the trial judge sentenced the convict to 6 months imprisonment on count 10 and imposed a fine of 500 and 200,000. I'm sure you all know that this bordered on domestic violence, and she went through hell, I must say. For example, the federal government alleged that the late singer was forcefully ejected from her matrimonial home by her husband, contrary to the Violence Against Persons. At a time, it was said that Nwachukwu forcefully pushed his wife out of a moving vehicle. It was specifically charged for committing culpable homicide. The court of the federal government in prosecuting also said that the defendant deprived the deceased of her personal liberty by restraining her movement and locking her up in the house. He accused the defendant of subjecting the deceased to emotional, verbal, and psychological abuse. The court also was told that investigations revealed that the defendant even denied the Osinachi access to her own money for medication and household necessities, thereby forced her into begging and borrowing. Also, the husband forcefully isolated and separated her from her family by preventing her mother and siblings from visiting her matrimonial home. He was further charged for cruelly beating his children, recording their cry, and playing it on his phone. I think there must have been something wrong with it. Anyway, we are highlighting this morning because of the importance of all efforts that we are trying to make to curb domestic violence. By sheer coincidence, in the Vanguard of today, on the woman's own page, there's an article here that I would please take time. I would ask you to take time to read. How to stay in abusive relationship perpetuates intergenerational violence. The essence of what you are being told is get out. As soon as you see the signs, get out. There's on the same page, there's another story by Mrs. Eliana Ngososo, who is the Vice National President of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, and says that the law is clear on the protection in place. And there's another one. This is just a coincidence. Bukola Idowu, he says, domestic violence is a public health issue. I will have to invite again, like I do sometimes, Mrs. Vaivo Adeni of the Lagos State, for us to look at the case. Luckily, she's also a lawyer, and see what we can all learn from it. But my appeal, domestic violence can go either way, is that if you are a victim, you only need one sign to get out. Don't let anybody tell you that the Bible, anyway, don't let me invite Omoshebi here. Don't let anybody come and tell you the Bible said this or the Quran said that. Once you notice, you must only be attacked once. Once you notice, get it reported and get out of such a union. May the soul of Osinachi, may her soul rest in peace. It's such a shame that such a promising woman, I'm sure all of you know the song, the gospel song she was famous for, would meet her death, would meet her death through this circumstance. And may God have mercy on the soul of the man whenever he is hung. But he won't be hung because I don't know, we are not yet decided in Nigeria whether we actually, is in our laws, but I haven't been a while since I've heard anybody being killed in the gallows. It's been quite a while. So I'm one, personally, I would be very, what do you call it now? I'd be very careful about supporting the death sentence, because we've had questions of people who are innocent and circumstantial evidence put them to the gallows. But let us make up our mind about it, rather than have the prisons filled up with condemned prisoners.
Yes, indeed. Let's move on to our next story. This story is in the Vanguard, page 6. You'll find another one in Daily Trust. The Vanguard story on page 6 says, woman arrested for poisoning 65-year-old man in Lagos. That of the Trust says, woman in court accusing another of dating her hubby.
Yes, we want to leave politics alone and let's kind of focus on our everyday lives. Would you believe this? The Lagos State Command has arrested the 35-year-old woman, Adeola Adewale, for allegedly poisoning a 65-year-old man, Mr. Adebayo, to death in a service apartment in the Abule Egba area of the state. And it was said that she has confessed. She was administering a malt drink, and she had laced it with the substance, or the poisonous substance, which led to the death. Now, the story is incomplete because I would have expected the Vanguard reporter to find a way, and the police command would have been willing to do that, to find out why she poisoned the man. Apparently, maybe they are lovers, I don't know. But she made away with his car. And, we all just have to be very, very careful. Don't go with that.
How are they together? What's their relationship like?
It doesn't talk about the relationship, but they both checked into
a service
apartment, which is an upgrade from what we used to have power before, when people knock time up. So they both, they were lovers, obviously, and or it could be a pickup.
What's that? What's a pickup?
Maybe the man just picked up from somewhere.
Okay.
There could be hook up. You even know the name better.
Hook up.
I'm ignorant about this
now.
No, I said pick up. No, I don't know about this, but you are vast in these matters, so you got it.
It's a general terminology. It's not that I'm vast in anything.
They should clap for you.
Everybody knows that it's called hook up.
I didn't know. I thought it was pick up.
Pick up, go. For on
I like that. I love me. As if today is the day of all these things, there is another story here. A civil servant, Mojisola Benson, on Monday appeared before an Ogudu Magistrates Court in Lagos State for posting pictures of another woman on social media, claiming that she took over her husband. You get it?
Interesting.
Yes. And Benson, who resides at Ifako is facing a one-count charge of breach of peace. People don't know that some things you do out of anger and whatever, or out of ignorance, you could have a charge leveled against you. She posted, she was convinced that this other woman was dating her husband, and she posted it. So the police picked her up, and she's facing a one-count charge of breach of the peace. The police inspector told the court that the defendant committed the offense on April 3. He alleged that the defendant conducted herself in a manner likely to cause breach of peace. She was said to have posted pictures of the complainant, one Onyida Mola Adeju Mola, on WhatsApp, TikTok, with the caption, Yahoo brother Shinwaya, the owner. And the woman claimed that it caused her distress. The complainant said that the defendant posted her picture on social media alleging she was dating her husband. She also sent messages to her grandfather and sister, telling them to warn the complainant to steer clear from her husband. The complainant went to a financial institute around Ifako, and the woman she didn't even know was warning and insulting her to steer clear of people's husband. This caused her an embarrassment. She was granted bail. So the question I would have loved to, which we need to know, is, if you feel that somebody is dating your husband, what can you do legally? What can you do legally? Because if she, most likely she'll be given a fine or something, but she's been criminalized. We all need to be. You can't take the law into your hands. You can't, no matter what conviction you have. And if you think, and the irony is that if you think that that would prevent the two of them from being lovers, it could make the love go stronger.
Yeah, well.
You don't have any.
No, I'm just. Oh God, I'm just thinking. Like, I mean, should she have gone and attacked the other woman?
Yeah, that's so.
Her own.
Well,
person.
You heard what Shakespeare said. Hell has no fury than the woman's scorn. That would be, but it's been once woman get once and vex like this. You cannot guarantee what even any human being, for that matter, would do if he feels that the romantic space is being violated. You can't even be sure of what you will do.
I know what I would do.
I was just about to say I know what I would do, so that I'll be the only one who knows. So we both know what we will do.
I know what I would do.
I think with my experience in life, I'll just walk away. With what I've seen in my whole life, I'll just take a walk. Nothing is not worth all this. It's not worth it.
How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling too well. I've booked an appointment with what's his name?
Who's that?
Ducky.
Okay, Ducky. Okay. All right. Let's
But if
get
it's
to-
any consolation, if anything happens to me, I've said both my liabilities and all those should be handed to you.
Like, why liabilities?
As my beloved son.
You are not even going
Oh,
anywhere.
let me let him
First is that you're not going anywhere, but why liabilities? Lagos, let's go take a look at this next story here. Police give excellence awards to IGP Akpabio Eno.
Well, let us say this is a public service announcement, and we leave you to analyze it. We are giving you a test now. Please analyze this for us. The Akwa Ibom State Police Command has given excellence awards to the Inspector General of Police, the overall boss, the Senate President, and the Governor of the state. The command also gave awards to eminent Nigerians in recognition of their collaboration in fighting crime and in the state of criminal activities. Guess what? There was a ceremony to do this, for the state to give the IG an award to Godswill Akpabio and the governor. And it was at a dinner, which attracted dignitaries from all parts of that. I wonder how the IG would have felt when that letter would have come to him.
I think like every other person, especially that belongs to that space, he would have felt honored. He would have felt
By your own subordinates.
excited about it.
You want to give an award for those who have helped you in fighting crime. You don't bring out individuals like whistleblowers or whatever, who don't mind being identified, to use them as an example. Rather, you give the IG, you give the Akpabio, and then you give the governor. Maybe the level will give the commissioner himself.
Maybe.
I leave you to analyze. It's a test. Let's see what you come up with. Why are you suddenly so quiet?
You know, because I'm trying to figure out, like how does the mind of an average police officer, how does it work?
How does the mind of an average Nigerian work? I mean, look at all the newspapers and 1 or 2 TV houses were dishing out of the same set of people for the past 15 years. They're always either government people or whatever is their word. Those ones too, because of the year, that one of the year, they all line up, clap their hands, and money exchange hands, and so on and so forth, to the point that we have one of our colleagues who is given awards also. It's been 50 years in the job, fair enough, and he's given awards to almost about 50 people, all of them, most of them dignitaries. The question you ask yourself is, both those who give these awards and those who receive the awards, what goes on in their minds? What do they see as the worth of the award?
What is the worth of the award?
Okay, so what if I'm an inspector general? What is the award of my commissioner of police, saying that I'm
exactly? What is it worth? What is it? What
I don't get it. I'm telling my friend, go get on the job. Get on the job. This story looks so insignificant, but it reflects part of the problems we have in society. Look at it. It's just about 4 paragraphs. It's hidden somewhere, and I caught it. You know, and there you are. You know, carefully they gave Akpabio, of course, the political leader in the state, and also gave the governor. One of these days, we will have the commissioner of police decamp today. Decamp.
Incidentally, this next story, I'm going to ask a question on this next story.
Yes.
Well, let me take the story first. Activist presidency clash over fears of one-party state.
Okay, yes, some activists are raising hell. And some of us are worried about having a one-party state. But in reality, I said to myself, you can't stop people from the camping. It's a free will. But they also, these activists say that they tend to believe that most of them were being blackmailed. Maybe because, some of them have problems with the EFCC. But why should they have problems with the EFCC in the first place? You understand what I'm saying? Why should they say that, they were not affecting out of conviction, but due to fear and pressure? Yes, fear and pressure could be one, but also two, they are greedy. Everybody wants his hand in the cookie jar. A politician is there for himself and his immediate followers, which generally are his family. Yes. Because a politician, so if you are not in the ruling party, what are the things that you can give to your supporters? If you don't go, your supporters will go. So it's a Nigerian phenomenon. And I think I feel sorry I align myself with the activists, to be honest with you. Okay, let me read out some of them. Abdul Mahmoud, Dr. Sama Madi, Nimo Bassi, Siddiq Mohammed, Tola Adeniyi, Abba Sahid, that was Tola Adeniyi, Abba Sahid, Jibrin Ibrahim. These are well-respected people. I understand their concerns, but at the end of the day, those are the kind of politicians that we have. It's a pity. And the presidency, of course, dismissed the concerns. Mr. Bayo Ononuga said that defections merely expose internal weaknesses within the opposition. And I agree with him. This time around, I agree with him. Because if we had solid party structures, back in the day, it was very rare for you to be in the UPN and then want to go to the MPN because the parties were solid. So I agree with him on that. And he said disgruntled opposition figures, some partisan human rights crusaders, he must always add something of insult inside. And the emergency defenders were raising a false alarm. It's not a false alarm, sir, but I agree with what you said. While the latter-day defenders of democracy raised no anxious voice against the disgruntled politicians, cobbling an anti-Tinubu, anti-APC coalition along dangerous regional lines. That also sounds reasonable to me. Even before INEC blows the whistle for party politicking, they are quick to ascribe the political shifts in some states to bribery, blackmail, and coercion without any shred of evidence. In a way, maybe. I think that generally I have no confidence in the political class as currently constituted in any party. In any party. I mean, how many times has an article gone left, right, left, right, left, right? You know, so that's where we are.
What are the I mean, when people say one party state, what are they talking about? What are the consequences of a possible?
The consequences, you need to go back in history and go. Many people don't know that the Nazi party was a party. And that was Nazi party that produced Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler was not a soldier. He was a politician. And it's very dangerous when you have a one-party state because you are gliding. In fact, you are not gliding. You are almost deep into dictatorship. And that's what you have. That's what you have in places like Russia and so on and so forth. You have a one-party state. A one-party state could be tolerable if you then had a visionary leader who's moving the country forward. But it's whether you get it or not is another thing entirely. I think Rwanda is almost a one-party state, but you can see what it's doing.
Someone mentioned the Communist Party in China.
The Communist Party in China, you can see. I mean, you can see what they're doing. So, a one-party state is not so much politically. Yes, it's good to have an opposition, kick everybody in line, and so on and so forth. But a one-party state also depends on the leadership. The leadership in Nigeria cannot produce. It's dangerous for you to have a one-party state in Nigeria.
That's my next question, actually.
Yes.
Why is it dangerous?
Because of the mindset of our politicians. The mindset, most of our politicians are there for themselves. And they will ruin the country without any opposition. I can tell you that for free. So for Nigeria, the structure of Nigeria is you must have a balance. If you don't have a balance, you are heading for trouble. If you have a one-party state and you produce a dictator, then they are going to have religious concerns, tribal concerns, heavy corruption concerns, so many that development for the people will be down to zero. I saw the CBN governor talking about Fitch rating and they were clapping hands and so on and so forth. I'm not interested in any Fitch rating with foreigners. What about the living standards of our people? It's degenerating every day. Now I hear they sell bread in half loaf. You can buy a full loaf of bread or a half loaf of bread.
Oh,
yes,
really?
Yes. I saw the picture on the social media. You know, all this Fitch rating, and I saw the CBN governor say that, they were congratulated because they were very thorough with their figures and so on and so forth. And it had never happened before. I said, we have a Trump in the CBN. Don't stop playing politics. Stop playing politics. Look at the plight. Stop looking up. Look down at your people. Your people are suffering. Don't go get accolades from people who want to keep you down. I don't know if these people get it. We have very good Fitch rating. It's the same Fitch rating, the same group of people that said that poverty, your people will be poorer by 2027. That should send your mind thinking. Should you rather look inwards? We need a think tank that should decide, should we rather look inwards, let us at least be able to eat. Look at the recent thing that is coming out now. They listed 10 teaching hospitals. None of them has solar, whatever. They're black. The State House has quickly 10 billion. Why didn't they release that said 10 billion also say that, okay, as an emergency, there's going to be a federal government grant to put solar in the major teaching hospitals. Let's start from there. And encourage the state governments to pick 2 each. You know, you can see that governance generally is about self, not about the people. So a one-party state in a country like Nigeria is a disaster.
Interesting. I also saw another POV about most of our states are already in a position of one-party states anyways, all this while.
Yes, I mean, in the states, there's no opposition. where the PDP is whatever. And it's same thing we are talking about. The politicians are like ants to sugar. They drift where the sweet, everybody is most people are in politics to make money for themselves. Forget what they will tell you. Forget renewed hope, and they're not renewing anything. There was never any hope to renew. Forget all these things. It's always for self, and self. Even when there's a pretense that we are giving grants to this, it's to them and their cronies. So,
yes, indeed. We have to leave it here for today. Sir, thank you so much for coming around.
Thank you,
Okay. Let's leave you now. Let's Kofi come back in to come and wrap up on the morning Crossfire Lagos. Thank you and beyond, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in for this morning's show. We appreciate your time. If you missed out the show from the beginning, you can go to YouTube and watch it again on our YouTube. But we're going to have the link on X as well, on Twitter, immediately after the show. So you can just click on the link if you want to listen via podcast. That's this audio. You can go to X. Our Twitter page is at Nigeria Info FM on Twitter. You can listen live the podcast there. I'm Sheriff Quadry. Do stay with us. Kofi's next.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.